Today's lesson is pretty short, so I'm going to make a video, and you do need to know this. So we've been dealing with parallelograms for so long now about how to, once we know that we have parallelograms, what we can say about them. But now, how do we know if something's a parallelogram? So that's a new thing. So there are five ways to prove, and we're not doing proofs, but there are 5 ways to prove that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So the first one's pretty obvious, and it's just that opposite sides must be parallel. That's just the definition of parallelogram. So if we know that we have a figure where one set of opposite sides is parallel as well as the other set, then it's a parallelogram. So it's not enough just to say, for example, that two sides are parallel, because that, in a trapezoid, for example, we would have where these are parallel but the other two sides are not, and that's not a parallelogram. So we must have both sides, opposite sides, that are parallel. And there are 4 others. We need that opposite sides must also be congruent. So that's that one. If one pair of sides is congruent, it's not enough. But if one pair of sides is both congruent and parallel, just one pair, but both things occur, then it's a parallelogram. The other thing is that opposite angles, if opposite angles are congruent, it's a parallelogram. It's not enough to just say one set. It has to be also that the other set, then we have a parallelogram. And finally, if the diagonals bisect each other. So if both of these sides, there's like a midpoint here, and they're both congruent, then we have proven that it's a parallelogram. So it might seem like it's a little bit obvious, but it really isn't, because you can't prove it every single way. There's only these 5 ways. So opposite sides must be parallel. Both pairs of opposite sides must be congruent. One pair of opposite sides are both congruent and parallel. Both pairs of opposite angles are congruent. And I don't know why this is on here like this, but the diagonals must bisect each other. Okay, so I'd like you to fill in the blanks. So you can pause this video and write down 1 through 5, and then come back on and make sure that we match. Okay, so you should not be copying from me. You're not going to be learning. All right, so please pause the video. And now that you're back, show that both pairs of opposite sides by definition are parallel. Also, that both pairs of opposite sides are congruent is a way to show that a parallelogram or quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Both pairs of opposite angles must be congruent. The diagonals must bisect each other. So if you're writing this down, the whole entire thing, it's muscle memory for your brain. Show that one pair of opposite sides, so if we only have one pair, then 2 things must happen. They must both be congruent and parallel. I'm just writing the notation. So now let's take a look at these. These are really good examples. Decide whether A, B, C, D is a parallelogram or not. So in number 1, we have both pairs of opposite angles are congruent. So this one is yes, and that's by number 3. Okay, the next one, well, I see that I have, these are both 4, and then the other one has its own little tick marks. So yes, this is diagonals bisect each other, so this one is a yes by number 4. Okay, now number 3 says that they're both parallel. That's what those arrows mean, but they're also congruent. So this is what we mean by one pair, just one pair need to be both congruent and parallel. And so this is a yes, and this is by number 5. Okay, now remember, this is not a parallelogram. Okay, we cannot say that this is 50, like not yet a parallelogram. We don't know. So I have one pair of opposite sides are congruent. I don't know about angle B. We don't know. That could be 40, right? So this one's a no. We don't have enough information. Not enough info. Okay, let's check out this one. So I know that these sides are parallel, so let's mark that. And I also know that these are, these little angles are congruent. And I have a Z here. Okay, and so I also know, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, that these are congruent. Is that enough though? Well, it is actually enough. We have to just think about it a little bit more. We know that this line is congruent to itself by reflexive. And actually, I know we're not doing proofs. I told you we're not doing proofs, but I just want you to think about this. This triangle is going to be congruent to this triangle by angle side angle. So what does that mean? That means that by CPCTC, for example, that these two sides will be equal to each other. So now I have enough information to say that yes, the parallelogram, the quadrilateral is a parallelogram, and it's because of number 5. And there might be more than that, actually. You probably could also even say by the one where opposite angles are congruent, number 3, because again, CPCTC. So there's lots of different reasons for that one. Okay, so we're doing the exact same thing. So I am going to ask you to pause the video and answer 1 through 9. It should take you, I would say, a good 5 minutes to go through them, and then we'll go through them ourselves. And we have to state why, okay? And I'm not going to say number 1, number 2. I actually really do want you to write out why. Okay, so go ahead and do that and pause the video. Okay, now that you're back, I'm going to have to write very small here. So the answer to this, let's see if I can make this a little tinier. Yes, I can. I'll go here. Okay, so this is yes, and it's because both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. So if you say opposite sides, I think you should say both pairs of opposite sides, so that we know that it's 2. Okay, in this one, D, we have that one set of lines that they have both things. So if you're only picking one set of lines, they must be both parallel and congruent. And so this is a yes, because one pair of opposite sides, you should be writing this down, are both congruent and parallel. I'm going to change colors because this is a little hard to see. Okay, number 3. Oh, that looks like the one where they're bisecting each other, but it's not, because AO and OC are not congruent. So I have one set of one diagonal that's bisected and one pair of sides that's congruent, and it is not enough. So I'm going to say no on that one. Now you might say, well, do I have anything else so I could prove it with the triangles being congruent? Yeah, I mean, I know those angles are congruent, but again, that side angle, it's not enough. So no, triangles are not congruent. And I'm not sure that would have helped us anyway. Let's take a look at 4. Yes, the diagonals bisect each other. Number 5, we only have one pair, so this is not enough info. And again, you might say, well, these have to be 110. No, they don't have to be 110 because it's not a parallelogram yet, okay? So if we don't know it's a parallelogram, those angles can be anything. Not enough info. Okay, now this one to me was a little bit confusing at first because I thought no for the same reason as number 5 and as the same reason as the problem before on the other page. But then it occurred to me that because these two add up to 180, that must mean then that these sides are parallel, because that's actually a rule. If we have consecutive angles are same side supplementary, then it immediately means that these two are parallel. And so if they're parallel, then that also means that this is a transversal, and then this has to be 110. And then if you look at it in this direction now, where if we look at it, are these lines parallel? Yes, they are parallel, because now these are also supplementary if that's your transversal. So I know it's kind of confusing, but if you have consecutive angles in both directions and you don't have the fourth one, then this answer is actually a yes. All right, now for number 7, since these two lines are parallel, then I know that I have a transversal here. And so then these two must be same side supplementary, which means if one is 90, the other is 90. Same with this one. And so all opposite angles are congruent. So this is a yes, because opposite angles are congruent. In fact, all angles are congruent. All right, if we check the next one, we only have one side of opposite sides that are congruent, so we don't have enough info, but maybe if I looked at the triangles to see if they were congruent, I could show the other sides were also congruent by CPCTC. But if I use this reflexive case, I'm left with a side-side angle, and this is a big old no because that doesn't work. Let's check about number 9. Okay, I see I've got a Z here. So since these are congruent, I know that these two lines are parallel. I also have another Z right here. So I know that these are also parallel. So yes, because opposite angles are parallel. I don't know why I said that, opposite sides. And it's both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Okay, the diagonals of a quadrilateral blank bisect each other. This is sometimes, only if it's a parallelogram. Doesn't say this, it says quadrilateral. If the measure of two angles of a quadrilateral are equal, then the quadrilateral is sometimes a parallelogram. You should, I should have told you before, you should really stop these and just fill in the rest of them and then come back, okay, and check. And that's because, yeah, if those are, but also if the other pair is, then it's a yes. If one pair of opposite sides of a quadrilateral is congruent and parallel, then the quadrilateral is always a parallelogram. That's a theorem. And if both pairs of opposite sides of a quadrilateral are congruent, then the quadrilateral is always a parallelogram, also a theorem. And finally, to prove a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, it is blank enough to show that one pair of sides is parallel. No, it is never enough to show that only one pair of opposite sides is parallel. You either also have to show the same pair is congruent or that another pair is parallel.